if I had to, I really can't even pick out any significant trades to start the month. There was dogs, so I can go over this one. And dogs, of course, to me it was a great opportunity for just dip buy. Unfortunately, if you look at this screen right here, you see that I didn't play it. Well, I took in seed and I didn't pay attention to it the following day after the big tank day, so I missed out on the first Green Day bounce. But previously, I played it for this small bounce right here. Unfortunately, the play continued to take down. One thing I've been noticing in this market is just take the single and take what the market really gives you. There's no point in really looking for home runs in this market. And what I wanted to show was if I pull up the QQQ on my screen, you can see over the past since really November, the market has just been chopping around between 400 and 380. And in this type of market environment, it's been very, very just difficult to see where, like, which way the market really wants to go. It's not making up its mind because it's just trading and chop. It's not making its mind towards does it want to go up or does it want to go down. And because of that, it's causing imbalances in our patterns. I feel like is small cap traders. I feel like patterns that normally have worked in this market or work in normal hot market conditions, they don't work. And the skeptical ones that seem like they shouldn't work. Those are the ones that end up working. So it puts you at a very like it's a weird place as a trader because I just don't have a real good feel of the market right now. Um, but this is the reason we're just coming back and trying to get back to the basics, trying to get back to the basics of just, seeing what works, trying to just trying to get back to the basics. Just seeing what type of trader that I am and what will work for me. And that's all I got to say for right now.
All right. So for me, I know both me and Rocky, we had a incredible, 2021. And like he said, the purpose of us getting back on it is to definitely try to go back to the basics of what got us there. The market, at least for me, it's been up and down. Uh, some months do really well, other months like nearly at a break even. So I'm just gonna talk about some of the things that I wanted to look at for 2021.
Your screen isn't showing.
It's not showing. Okay. All right. So So I'm just gonna go over some of my trades. The thing is that I really want to work on this year is really being disciplined and just going for what the market gave me. So I think I did that all the way up until Friday. So I'm just gonna take a look at a couple of my trades for here. So this trade right here on SYTA. This was a day one broken stock. So with that pattern, just simply just looking for something that had a big parabolic move on the pre-market, then followed by fading till the market open. And the goal for it was to just attack each line, and I think I did that. My first line that I had it was right around here. Was at $4. And one thing that I've been trying to do consistently for stocks that's trading about from $1 to about $5. I'll either go for the $4 line, $4 whole number, 420, 450, then like whole either whole or half dollar mark. So for this instant right here, VWAP, I consider this as a area of resistance, and all these are just very very small size too, because I was willing to scale up to even getting up to the 450s and then just waiting to just see what the stock was doing. And all of this on the front side of a bounce, I'm just using the MIC process of just using 30%. Then on confirmations, um, to just either go full size, or if the setup is not warrant for full size, then I'll just take what the market gave me. So with this, I just pretty much traded within the channel. So I took the first entry at 4, and I took the second entry at VWAP. I covered, then it bounced back to VWAP again, took another position, and I just started scaling out. So this was like super, it wasn't a stressful trade. It was just took what the market gave me. Same thing for this one as well too. Day one broken stock, had this uh, huge move. I think the top that it actually got was around like $9 ish. Then it faded back all the way down to 7 for the pre-market. So I just had my order at 750. My next order would have been at 8, and the next one after that would have been at 850. So it only got into 750 was the one that just got filled, and of course you get this death candle. So I just took some off here, then I just covered the rest over where the support was at. So just pretty straightforward on the short side. Just waited for my lines to hit. Same thing for here. AACG. This one was actually a day 2 short. So this was day 1 right here. Big parabolic. And of course it died. And have my starting entry at 220. Because this was considered this as a little resistance area. I was going to scale to next order was going to be at 250. Then 260 would have been my stop with 30%. So it only got to 222. Then I got this filled from this little rejection at 207. It did bounce right back, but I was too scared to just keep an order on there. But it did the same thing. It bounced here, then later on it just faded on even further. So that's one thing that I'm also trying to do as well, is to respect the areas of resistance. Like, don't be afraid to attack it. Don't be afraid, of it coming back a second time to be able to pop an entry. Normally the first time I'm good, but the second time, like as you can see on this one right here, I should have had another order just sitting here, just waiting, because it did the same exact thing. So it popped. I actually did have an order sitting right here, but you know, I was scared when I started seeing it bounce. I was like, man, SSR is triggered. I don't know if this thing might squeeze. So that's one thing that I'm gonna try to do this coming week is to have that second entry open. If it does end up going, I could always cut my loss versus me trying to just hang on to just the profit. Be like, man, I'm just gonna hold on to it when time and time again.
What's the
Okay.
what's the average float that you're trading on these type of trades?
It's not even for me. It's not even float. It's more. I mean, while I do look at the float, like let's say if it's like 3 million in float, then for those I'm not gonna trade. I know other people trade it and it works out for them. Me, I'm scared of that. So anything above 3 million, I would trade.
Think above 3 million.
Yeah, everything above. Yep, everything above 3 million, I would trade. Anything below, no, I'm not touching it.
Okay.
But I had this line set here because this area was a day two short as well. So the line that I had was 290. Then the next one would have been $3. It only got to 290. Then had a drop, and again should have had another order just waiting right here to be able to just ride it back down. But again, I was too scared. All right, this one was actually an afternoon play for me. I came back around 2 p.m. during reversal time, and the thing with this, there was a hit piece came out for a short report on this company, and as soon as the short report, I forgot what's the name of the company, but they have a massive amount of following. Once they say, "Hey, we're shorting," they believe that this company is a scam or whatever. Typically, you get this type of reaction, and once I saw this reaction, because two things, this area right here um, was an area of support on it. There was another. It made a support somewhere in the morning as well. So this was the second time. Once this slammed below support, all I just simply did just waited for the bounce to happen. So I just started filling in. My stop would have been right around here because I was very confident in the short because of the news that came out. It broke support. Once it broke support, it's also bouncing for the first time. Um, Not only that, it's during reversal time, so I just started just piling in. Now, one thing about my cover that I was a little disappointed at because I had my first entry, my first cover to actually be around like 78 mark. But this little bounce right here kind of spooked me, so I got out. And of course, it got all the way down to my entry. Well, not my entry, but it got all the way down to where I wanted to cover at. But this was just simple textbook, death candle, bounce, got near the VWAP, shorted, and just started covering. All right, so those are all my trades that I did that I stuck to the plan. This last one right here, this is definitely just me trying to me having FOMO, and that's what pretty much it was. So all this was during pre-market. You had this big run up on the 6th, then on the 7th during pre-market over here it started going down. So I had my lines already drawn in, but instead during pre-market I took a entry here, but I quickly covered because I was like, yo, you do need just to wait till the market open. So the market opened here. I got FOMO, so I put in an order here where my order should have been here. This right here was just me doing some rogue stuff. Um, Even though you could argue and say, hey, there was resistance over here, um, but that wasn't a part of my plan. My plan was short 450, then also short around 470 ish, just in case they didn't get to the 88 mark. So that was my plan, but instead I popped in this order, I popped in this order, I popped this in this order. The only good thing that I did was able to manage the trade because my first entry was around like 440. So I had 440, then 466. Average was around like 450 ish, but I added twice already. So what I ended up doing once I saw VWAP was holding, I covered half of my position, so which raised my average. So it kind of resetted me. Then I put in another order right here at 488, which got filled. Then and I just covered for my position. So this actually ended up becoming a loss, a small loss. Only lost 30 cents on it, but overall, it just the whole FOMO aspect. So had I just waited, I wouldn't have felt the need to be covering right here because this ended up tanking down and going all the way down to like, let's see if I could pull it up. Guess I'm just waiting for Thinkorswim to pull up. But the main takeaway from this is all I had to do just be patient. You know, either let the trade come to you or don't take the trade at all. Instead, I was like, man, I was doing good all week. I don't want to miss out on a trade on a Friday. When in reality, I don't need to trade every day. So if it happened, it happened. If it don't, it don't. And that's the mindset that I need to keep, or else, you know, this could have easily been. It could have been something worse had I not just been able to manage the trade right here. But even though it ended up working out, it's still not something that I need to be doing. So here's the trade right here. So so first order should have been here, and the second one I had it. This is the line that I had it here, and I actually had a third one right around here. But since I was doing all this goofy stuff, I didn't even pop in that last order here. Then once I started seeing consolidation right around this area, I'm thinking it might try to curve back up and go. So I just end up cutting it off, but instead I missed out on all of this. So that's really all I have for the first week of January for trading. Those are all my trades. So it was I was green every day on all my trades except for this last one here, which I lost like 30 something cents. But
Shit, that's a still a solid week for you though. Like looks every trade that you've shown so far. Well, every trade it looks good. It looks like you're very specific in what you're trading.
right, and that's the thing that I just need to keep drilling in myself because sometimes once I start getting on a consistency, I want to go rogue. Like
That's my problem right now. Just too much randomness going on. Like I'm trying to trade options, trying to do this, trying to do that. Like I need to recalibrate. Well, that's what I'm gotten out of. That's the message that resonated um, with
yeah,
me just from you talking. Just get back to your main focus
yeah,
and
absolutely.
really wait for just your opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I had a great month of November. So my month of November, I was like, yo, I'm finally back on track. Everything that I'm doing is working, working, working. Then December come, and I just went totally rogue. Um, and I'm started longing stuff. Like I can't right at my current skill set. I'm not the person to be longing stocks, and instead,
Not the market to be long in stocks right now, anyway.
yeah, and the crazy thing about it, like November, I wasn't longing anything. I was just shorting. But December, I just had it in my mindset. I guess the holidays, things gonna go parabolic. So let me. So I started long, and this is where my losses, started coming from, and I just started just reflecting and just thinking like, okay, you do your best when you're shorting, and you do your worst when you're longing. So how about just take longing off the table altogether? At your current stage right now, not to say I'm not gonna go back and learn it, but at this current stage of your trading journey, you need to just remove long altogether. And that's what I did week one. I didn't take any long position. I looked at when I like, yeah, I like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. And just seeing just that small amount of progress, of my trading is being consistent. I know exactly what I'm looking for. I'm not trying to bounce back and forth to, you know, whether to try to switch my bias. I'm looking at one specific pattern. Um, well, not one specific, but one specific strategy as far as like shorting biasness. One specific bias. So that's the conclusion that I came up to, and so far the results are showing. Yeah, you're much better. You would probably succeed better if you do stick to that, and also just letting the trade come to you, like whether or not if it works or if it don't. So that's my conclusion for the week there.
Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, that's what definitely the thing that I need to work on. Just getting back to my main focus of I am mainly a long bias trader, but the market conditions just have not been and that has not been favorable at all for long bias traders. Um, I think that that was what led to me doing so much randomness and options because was watching a couple of videos on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
of other traders that trade the options and thought that I could just apply the knowledge that I gained from those videos and just you know
Right.
start banking immediately without having any type of real strategy, real edge. I don't like I just there's just too much randomness going on, and I don't know enough about the options and the options strategy, and even how to manage my risk on every single trade with the option to be trading them, and that's bad for my business at this point in my career.
You know, 100%. Definitely, like from what we're seeing, yeah, it is going to be a learning curve. So right now, I rather just stack everything that I can, and then once I reach you know a certain milestone, then to say, hey, let me just try this and see if I could learn it. So any other takeaways you may have for the week?
None so far. I guess one thing I am going to be focusing on this week is just being very, very specific into what I will trade. Like, I only will trade something that has very, very tight consolidation that has
Yeah, like OTC. Like I really want to see OTC come back.
I really do too, but it's been so dead. Like, if you pull up that chart CYBL, that's one of the things that I traded. Um,
Yeah, I've
yeah,
been.
pull up the yeah, pull up the daily,
Yeah,
and
I've
go
been.
back,
Let me.
go back to 1-3. Like, yeah, all right. See, you see that 1-3? Yeah,
Hmm.
you see that how it perfectly made that.
Yeah,
That's the OTC breakout.
yeah.
But you see that the following, so I took that long overnight, but you see the following day it just
It just yeah.
failed. There's no follow through at all.
Right.
Things that have been working just don't work anymore.
Yeah, cause I
Not
was.
to say that they won't ever come back,
Mhm.
but as for right now, that's been my struggle.
Yeah, I've been watching this for a bounce, and it's like the channel that it broke out of. It came back, tested, then like this is yeah, this is what you'll say. This is picture perfect for real, for real.
Yep, that's where I thought I had it. I was long overnight, and
It end up what gapping. Did it have a spike in the morning too, or not? Or a little
I,
spike?
like it was a liquid type spike.
Uh,
See,
yeah, right there.
yeah,
Ouch, yeah. Yeah, like it's, and I'm glad that we're starting to go back to doing this because it's only going to reinforce what we already accomplished, what we already done. Getting us back on track to what's worked.
yeah, for sure, no doubt about it. You just gotta stick with the game. Remember, it's a marathon.
100%, yeah,
But
100%.
I don't have any other feedback or any other.
All right. Well, then we're going to try to do this again next Saturday.
Yep.
Um, all right.